And we are live Wednesday night with those guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How you doing?
I'm
And
good.
we are live Wednesday night with those guys.
That's you on your end.
Excuse me, my fault.
All right. So what's good, man? What's going on? Hello? I could barely hear you for some reason. You were skipping. Now you're fine. But for that split
I'm
second, hey, what's
skipping.
up, Hadley? How are you, bro?
I don't know. Hey
You
Hadley, what's
got
up,
you
huh?
got Hadley's email?
Might be on his channel. I'm
Hey,
not sure.
Rad Girl FPV. What's up, Hadley's?
Hello, how
Famous.
you
Let me
doing?
go.
How you doing this evening? So yeah, I got a little flying in. What's he saying?
Hadley, I
He
got you
just
on
got
an invite.
he just got home from work. So yeah, I did a little flying, and this June, it's funny. I was looking at the dates on it, and this June on the 5th, that was my second year anniversary flying. And
Okay.
last year, I did a video, of my anniversary flight, my first video on YouTube. And it's funny. That's funny. That June 5th happens to be my mother's birthday.
Oh, interesting.
And I thought that was a little coincidence that because I still miss my mother, and it was just funny. I was looking at it and it showed me the dates on it. I was looking at the date and it was like that was my anniversary on YouTube, and I just went over to the same place and I flew a couple of batteries and I was putting together a little video working on that, trying to I don't know do a little something. So
Well, I
that
didn't get a chance to fly at all this week, with the
I
weather being so hot and my respiratory issues. I
thought
have
you went out last night. You
what
got
happened? Well,
you
at
got
that point in time, I can go out early in the morning when it's cool, and
hmm
at night after the sun's going down and the temperatures drop.
Okay.
Hadley says 11/17 is his 2 years for flying acro.
Okay. Wow.
All right, see that's a full 2 years flying acro and nothing but acro, I bet. So that's a lot of time. And what I like about acro is you can fly in the winter time and the air actually is good for the batteries. I mean, it kind of it does drain them quickly, but if you get it up in the air and you have it heated up a little, you can get a little bit of use out of them.
It's funny you say that, but batteries in general are weird because too cold is not good, too hot is not good at all. Too moist is horrible for batteries. I'm like, why does a battery want to be a battery?
True. Red Girl says hello, Herman, way up at the top, but I
Yeah, I
told
said
you when he
hello to
spoke.
her when she first came in.
Okay,
She was who I was saying hello to. I mean,
okay.
I don't know if she caught it. I'm sorry. But how
This
you doing this evening, Rag Girl?
this guy Scott Shanahan, the one I told you that left a comment about the controller, the
Uh-huh.
FT Aviator, he says it's crap
Uh-huh.
and blah blah blah. Well, he just left another comment because one guy responded to him and said, "I just got mine in the mail and I love the way it flies." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
he just sent a message back to the same thread saying the guy says it's a one-handed controller, but you're using two hands to hold it.
Mhm.
So rather than respond to that, because now we're starting to sound like an idiot. I'm not. Yeah, he's a troll. He's a troll. I'm not even going to waste my time with it. I'm just gonna not even going to respond.
We understand that one.
Yeah,
But
we
he
do.
said it was crap, and he never tried it. He doesn't have one. He just what he saw.
I know. That's like there's someone telling you to try this steak, this skirt steak, and you've never had skirt steak. You have had beef chuck, you've had sirloin, but you've never had a real skirt steak. He's on Hadley. He's actually in the comments of the last video we did. I was thinking about that, but if I don't respond to him and he responds back a third time, then I'll just give him the boot, you know, because that's just how it is. But anyway, welcome to Wednesday nights with those guys.
Welcome, everyone. Yeah, I don't know if anybody caught the Amazon Prime deal, but they had a couple of things from DJI on it. They had if you were interested in getting the Mavic Air, they had it at $120 off. So it was a pretty good deal. It was $679. They had a setup on that for over on Amazon Prime on that Prime Day. So whoever caught it, hats off to them. If anybody was interested, they also had the Tello, and they had a combo pack. The Tello, they had the goggles, the racing edition, and the Ronin S and Ronin S, the gimbal.
Yeah.
They had some deals on that, and also on the Osmo Pocket and the Osmo Action. So I think those were like $319. So it was a little deal they had going on. Yeah, Amazon Prime Day. So if anybody bought it, if anybody was interested, I guess.
Hadley said he's been getting packages all day.
Okay.
That's a good thing. Nothing wrong with getting packages. I don't have to hide my packages anymore. My wife has admitted I have an addiction with drones. So as long as the wall, see, the trick is when you eliminate something, you can put something else up and they won't notice. But when you start putting more and more and the wall gets tighter and tighter, then it becomes an issue.
Yeah, but the wall looks like it's getting tighter and tighter.
Shh. Hadley, so you said you're happy to have a 107 job. Dude, I have been studying. Okay, so let's put it this way. It's going to come to the point where you're not a 107. You'll be considered a rogue flyer. So I want to be on the team where everybody else is making money. Plus, if they bring that stupid thing to YouTube where they're going to stop monetizing your videos if you're not a 107 drone pilot, let's see. It was rumored. We heard that was what they were going to do. Let's see what they do. I haven't heard any of the other big streaming shows talking about it. So let's see what happens in the months to come. But all I'm saying is when it's time to say, they ask, do you have your 107? I'll be able to go booyah like that.
I mean, anything.
What's up, Al Diaz?
Al Diaz, how you doing? Welcome tonight. Welcome to tonight. Wednesday night with those guys. But anything is possible, I mean, I've heard this for the longest time. And the thing was always with YouTube, and being is that you're putting together video, it's always been that whole gray area of who was actually flying the drone. I mean, yeah, we can understand these are drone shots of video, so it's a drone video, but who was flying?
Right. And see, that's my problem too. Just like you remember that little side job I did with the Freedom Tower, and I got footage of flying the Freedom Tower. Well, I was flying under a 107 licensed pilot who hired me to help him pull that off. And after he got his footage, he was like, "We still have a little bit of time. Why don't you go ahead and get a flight in?" And if he wasn't there, I damn sure wouldn't have flew what we did, but he was doing the job he was doing, and
Right.
he needed my expertise as a hobbyist / urban flyer to help him out with it, and that's what happens.
It's funny because these things, like some of these, like the rules that they give you about where you can and cannot operate, And then you go to certain locations, and the best vantage point is in a place where conflicts with some of the rules.
Right.
You know, like places like where you're talking, the Freedom Tower. Now, if you were to take off from in the footprint of that building,
You would never be able to fly it.
right, and you would be over too many people. There's no way to control that without having the police involved. The best vantage point for something like that is from over in the
In Jersey.
behind either that or even closer where the park is, and to go up from across from like the was that the financial center?
Yes, yes, yes.
And go up from there, but you'll still have to cross over West Street.
True.
And
true.
But it is the best vantage point for looking at the building, visual line of sight, and everything.
If you want to scope out, and we do that all the time. When we go somewhere and it's a new spot, most people are packing out their batteries and getting ready to go fly. And usually you and I walk around for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes sometimes, just to check out where we're going to fly, what we're going to do. And that's kind of funny because a lot of times some of the shots that I think of, you do, and some of the shots you think of, I do.
Right. And it's the funny thing. I looked at that building and I was like, they say if you're within 400 feet of the structure, you're entitled to go over this structure another 400 feet. But if you did that with the Freedom Tower, you'd run into either her belly somewhere around the 60-something floor.
Right. Now, what's funny is because
going straight up.
Using the 400 by 400 rule, which is what we did, but we basically, what I call bunny hop from or shadow hop from one building to the next, because as well as I do, in Manhattan, the buildings are a lot less than 400 feet apart from each other. So to go from one building to a taller building to a taller building was quite easy.
Well, same way we did Brooklyn Point. We were down by Brooklyn Point. From right there by the precinct, you can actually put the drone up and go straight down the street. And there's one building, there's the next building, and there's the next one.
Yes, I call it bunny hopping because
and it doesn't look like it in the video, but in all actuality, that's exactly what was going on.
Well, a lot of people ask when a guy did ask in urban flying, how do you get to the tallest building? And I was trying to explain this concept of bunny hopping. You start with a building that's this height, and of course, as you get closer and closer, you're still within the 400 by 400 rule of each and every building within that 400-foot radius. And it took him a while to understand what I was saying, but then he was like, that's very smart.
Right, because all you got to do is stand behind them, and you can go this way, back up behind you, and come through, and you stay within that rule. But you pick up all of those buildings.
Hey, what's up, Phantom Hodges drone?
Good evening. Welcome.
You know what? It's funny because I was joking with someone. I forget whose video I was watching. And it's just like wide open plains, and then you have a series of mountains. And I was telling him, I said, with all the urban flying that I do here in New York, I would probably go to the country and hit the first thing out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that. I went to this one lake where I got a video of, and the lake. If you look at the lake, there's like I don't know, I guess I would call it an island because there's nothing around it but water and there's trees growing up. So I guess there's a body of land underneath it.
Right.
And that was one of the things that interested me. Plus, when I was driving there, I noticed that when you're on the road, you can see the lake. Like you kind of like drive over the lake. Like there's a smaller portion on this side as you're driving through, and then you can see the lake. And I was like, that's kind of interesting. There's a road that goes through the lake. So
All right.
when I put the drone up, when I got over to the beach, when I put the drone up, I was like, and from the beach, you can't see the lake. I mean, you can see the lake, but you can't see that road.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And you see this little island out in the middle of the in the lake. So when I got up about 150 feet and went out towards that island, I started to notice there's other little islands, little masses of trees growing up out there.
Right.
And I went up about 200 feet and I went further out and I noticed that there's that road and it kind of cuts through the trees and comes out on the other side. And it's like, I just kept going straight up the lake with the drone. I caught a lot of shots with that, but it was weird how it was done. You could see like man had to have something to do with this.
Hey, I was thinking about something, and maybe you guys in the chat room could help decide this. I was thinking about having those guys meet up here in New York somewhere. What do you think about that?
Well,
You, the people in the chat. I mean, well, who's gonna come? Whoever lives within the tri-state area or whoever wants to travel, use up some vacation time at the end of the summer. I'm not talking about anytime soon, but before the summer's out, like late August, early September, even though most parents are buying school stuff for their kids, you guys can sneak away for a few hours.
Well, I don't know how many guys in the chat in the tri-state area. I know Hadley's kind of far.
I know Al Diaz is West Coast. We got to wait for some East Coasters to get in there. Thanks. I don't
see hurricane season.
Live connect to link Google Hangouts thing again.
What happened?
Appreciated listening and working on Red Rock Canyon video. No problem, Al Diaz. It's not a problem. We figured just while there was room and space before people started coming in a little later on.
Mm-hmm.
I do not mind at all whatsoever. In fact, speaking about that, I have to do some video myself. You know, I'm on this night thing, right? Because technically, it's so hot here in New York, guys, that today, what did it hit today? It's supposed to be?
I don't know. It was damn hot. It was 90-something degrees, and it was humid. It was like, I don't know. I was like, I felt like I was on the inside end of the air intake for a car.
Well, I can tell you one thing. From today until next week Sunday, it's going to feel anywhere from 100 degrees to 110 every day.
Well, I don't know.
And New York is me having a respiratory problem. That's a major issue.
I'll see what happens because I know today we had practice this morning. I left the house. It was cool. By the time practice got going, it was hot. And I'm just standing there telling you what to do, and I'm sweating.
Yeah. Al Diaz was out there by you, Hadley. A little, he showed his vacation video I had saw, which came out pretty good. You want me to go into a drone news story? Because I think this is very interesting. And for those who aren't here, they'll at least get to watch it in the replay.
What do you have?
But there's Cranfield University in the UK. There's a group of kids who have came up with a drone connection smart app. Now, this app is smart because, of course, it works through Wi-Fi. But this drone app it connects to at least 8 out of 10 protocols out there. And you can actually control your drone by text, using text. So you could say, rise to 150 feet and put in the coordinates, and it'll go to those coordinates via text, using longitude and latitude. But controlling drones is the way it could be useful for a variety of applications in futures, including the collection of crop health data and specific location searching for missing persons, et cetera, et cetera. So what they're saying is you could pretty much pull out, instead of having this big bulky controller with your Wi-Fi connection. I don't see how much that's going to work through the woods, but you can control a large variety of off-the-shelf drones out there through this app.
Well, hmm, that's interesting.
Right. But
I mean, it sounds great. I'm just curious to know, like, when you say it works Wi-Fi, that means that the drone must be Wi-Fi controllable.
right, your receiver, you're correct. The receiver has and drone has to be Wi-Fi, correct.
Is it piggybacking through the controller?
No. This is you can pull out your cell phone with this app and connect to most planes, helicopters, and some smaller drones that have Wi-Fi tech in them.
Hmm.
And I'll put a link in the chat. It's called the Cascade Project.
Yeah, put a link in the chat. Guys might want to check that out because I'm gonna.
Here's the link right here.
Kind of interesting.
This is the Cascade Project. These are the people that actually did it.
Mm-hmm.
And where I got the site from was this link here. Hold on, I need to copy something or else. This is the actual story itself, but Cascade, that link that I put there, is the company that did it through the university. This is the actual link here. So we want to kind of make sure that on our live streams from now on that we can fact check and the people that are watching can fact check, because I see a lot of live streams out there and people are quoting a lot of shit and not all of them are right. And you know it, you've seen a little bit of it too.
Well,
so if when
go ahead.
Well, I know you and I we both fact check. If someone says there's a drone that can fly upside down, we won't believe it until one of us shows the other that it's flying upside down. Heat wave moving east. I couldn't handle that with humidity. Right now, Al Diaz.
Yeah, it's horrible, man.
Right now, bro, it's 85 degrees now. Keep in mind, I live 4 blocks from the ocean, and there's always an ocean breeze. It's 84 degrees. It feels like 92 and the humidity is 82%. So basically, it's like walking outside with a wet towel over your face, because that's how it feels when I have COPD. That's how it feels when I'm trying to breathe. But now it feels like 92 now. Tomorrow it's supposed to rain, but Friday it's supposed to be 85. Saturday 91. Saturday and Sunday are going to be the hottest. Sunday it's supposed to be 89.
You sure?
Now I just found out I don't work since Saturday, Herman. So what we gonna do?
Well, I don't know. I don't care. I thought I saw it was 95 degrees for
It's gonna break 90 something. Trust me, it's gonna break 90
because
something.
I was out this morning. Like I said, I had practice down at the school. The school is right up the street. I can walk up there in 10, 15 minutes. I walked down there this morning for practice for 9 o'clock, and it was cool when I walked out the door. By the time everything got started, it was a heat wave. And then when they start sweating around you, it's like, wow, it's even more hot.
Yeah, when you have hot people sweating and breathing hard around you, yeah.
Yeah. And the air was thick, like you could slice it.
Hadley says it's 104 degrees where he is, but the humidity is 30%.
Yeah, see, our humidity is nasty out here. And you got this concrete jungle around you. By the time I walked back up the street and got home, I had to take everything off and get another shower.
Yeah, I could believe it.
I was soaking wet.
You know what's funny? Because I went to go play golf yesterday, right? Because we knew that it would be a little cooler. And on the grass where we were playing, it was at least 10 to 15 degrees cooler than it was on the concrete. Because when you got on the concrete, you could feel the waves coming up like you were in a freaking frying pan, man. Really.
Yeah, it's like that.
Hadley says, I'm staying inside shooting those vacant houses with no electricity. Really sucks. Yeah, then you gotta walk around, make sure you have some kind of floodlight or something.
Man, I've been in the house ever since that. I was did a little work on my video.
You're actually good, Aldiaz. You said you flew the drone. It was 103. Because that drone is sucking out the air, even though it's hot air, it's air. Now, if the humidity was high, like it is here in New York, then all that moisture would get sucked in, and you could probably short out that bird.
Well, I mean, I spoke to them at DJI, and they claim that you're fine with the drone up to like I think about 120 degrees, but if it's high humidity, don't do it. It's not good for your batteries too.
He says he was worried. I'd be worried too, but like I mentioned, the humidity is a key factor because if you're going to fly in the humidity, you might as well go out and fly in the fog too, because all you're doing is sucking in that moisture.
Because you got to remember, what actually helps the drone is the fact that it is actually flying.
Mm-hmm. Hadley says 104 degrees kills batteries. Let's just say I'm afraid to carry that many lipos in a bag at 104 degree. I would keep them in an ice.
I would worry about them sitting, yeah.
Yeah. That many batteries with that much heat. Hey, Hadley, quick question for you. If you take a lipo battery like this, right, and you puncture it with a sharp object and lay it somewhere, it's going to smolder and catch fire, correct? Can you confirm that, please? And I'll go into the reason why I asked that question.
Well, it did when Ken Herron shot one,
But yeah, that was a high velocity projectile that went straight through. It burns fast as fuck. Well, I wanted to know because, well, I'm not going to say why, but someone had mentioned something to me about taking a battery and just puncturing it and just watching it burn. And I was like, well, first of all, I have respiratory issues and I couldn't breathe in that gas coming from it. Second of all, I'm too paranoid to puncture it. But I just wanted to know if that was true.
well,
And they don't go out until you put water on them. I do know that. I did have one of these.
Water is such a great thing for it.
I did have one of these batteries. This is a 1500 milliamp 40C 11.1 volt. I did have one on the charger, and I had noticed, hey, Organized Confusion, how are you? I did notice that it was getting a little puffy, so I immediately took it off the charger, and I took it like this outside, and I just laid it on the ground, and it filled up to like a little pillow. So I backed away from it. Then all of a sudden, it just said pop on the side, like this seal around it had been compromised. And then once the air hit it, the oxygen hit it, it just went. You say water don't really work?
Yeah, that's what I would say to you.
Wow.
Because it's a battery, and I know we have battery rooms on the job, and they use no water to put them flyers out.
Welcome, Organized Confusion. I've never seen you here, but welcome to Wednesday nights with those guys.
But yeah, Lawrence, that's not such a great idea. But water, especially. Well, I guess you got lucky because it was outside, right?
Well, you know why? I had my hose at its widest opening, and it was drowning the fire.
Right.
Like boop, boop, boop. And it was this little battery. I could probably fight a kid off with my hose on full blast.
You know, in certain fires, throwing water on it could cause it to spread, like a grease fire.
Oh, see, now I didn't know that.
Push.
Had said a LiPo battery, fire extinguishers only work. Well, I need to get a fire extinguisher in my house here because I'm starting to get this collection of batteries right here. I have three 1300 milliamp, two 1500, and three smaller 850 milliamp and I'm slowly collecting more and more. And not to mention, some of this stuff has batteries, their own batteries for it.
Mhm. You know what the problem is though with fire extinguishers? Now you gotta start doing maintenance.
You got it right. You have to maintain them and make sure they stay charged.
Now you gotta do fire extinguisher maintenance.
Battery safe box is also a huge thing to have. Interesting.
Yeah, that is true. Because I remember Hadley had a story about a battery that caught fire on him. It was interesting, and he managed to get it out of his house in time, but it left an ugly mark on the concrete.
Al Diaz, yeah, I have one outside now. And Al Diaz says he puts his batteries in an ammo case. I'm gonna have to start putting this stuff together then, because I even have lipos and I have stuff all around. Like, see this one here?
Mhm.
These I were using for the Hubsan H501S, but I haven't flown that bird in like a year. So I'd be afraid to even plug this thing in and try and charge it. you know. But you guys gave me some food for thought. I'm gonna have to get a firebox for these
Yeah, I
batteries.
saw some of them on Amazon, and I actually checked it out right after. I remember, like I said, I remember when Hadley told his story, and I started checking them out then. I never got one, but that's fine that the DJI batteries seem to be a little bit more stable. But even with that, you never know because I've had those batteries puff up on me too.
Okay, well, yeah, I have a Fat Boy too. I should just use it for Fat Boy for setting up the drone. But you remember when this battery here, I had my Phantom 4
Hmm.
standard. You remember when we were charging batteries at your house, right?
Right.
Now I've had this battery sitting there
Uh-huh.
on my desk since then, and look at the lights. Still, it has not discharged in months. And that's what I'm scared about because when you put it in the drone says that the battery is damaged,
Oh,
So I
probably
don't know,
is.
huh?
It probably is.
Yeah, so I don't know why I'm keeping it. I don't know. I mean,
I'm,
yes, Al
I'm gonna tell you
Diaz.
why.
When I say months, it has to be at least 2 months easy. I charged this at
Um,
Herman's house.
wait a minute. No, no.
How long?
I wasn't even doing live streams then.
Wow. So longer than that.
Yeah,
Long
that's how
before I
long.
started doing live
How
stream.
long you had the Pro?
Make a saltwater bath for it and completely discharge. Dude, I tried it, won't discharge. If you put it in the drone, in any drone, it says battery damaged. But what is you said put it in a saltwater bath and completely discharge it? I
I know what
won't
you
that
do with it.
arc it?
I know what you do with it. Take it to Best Buy, give it to them,
No, I'm
and
not
let it be
paying.
their
I'm
problem.
not paying to get rid of a damn
You
battery.
don't have to pay them. You just give it to them.
Oh, okay. Because they were on some bull crap. Before you used to be able to take, everyone was getting flat screens. They were saying, bring your TVs, your 50 inches, your whatever, bring them in. And then 6 months later, they said, if you bring it in, the bigger the TV, the more you have to pay for us to get rid of it. And I'm not going to pay you to strip down the TV for its copper and gold.
Well, here's the deal. Give them.
So at least says salt water will kill it completely. All right, so I'm gonna do this outside then. I'm gonna get a thing of Epsom salt, crystal salt, and put that in there in a bucket. I
Knock
have a,
yourself out. I would just leave it at Best Buy.
leave it at Best Buy.
That's what I do with all of mine. I just
Okay.
leave it at Best Buy.
Well, until I get a replacement for Fat
Let
Boy,
them deal with it.
I gotta keep that Fat Boy battery.
I let them deal with it because I remember when Sandy hit downtown Manhattan,
Yeah.
and it washed out a lot of the services in the building, and we had it was a few months of work of replacing all those services. Now we had to get all of those buildings put on temp service outside in the street
Right.
and put in all new service for those buildings downtown Manhattan. This
Okay.
one building elected to use a portion of it because they said it dried out. They let it dry out, and they set up some other equipment. They ran some new stuff, and that's one portion that they had that they claim had dried out. When they flipped the switch, it burned because of the salt water.
I'm
I
asking Hadley.
believe
Sure.
the I understand what Hadley's saying, and I'm quite sure that it works because it's destructible. It'll destroy any of those metals. It corrodes to the point where it's useless.
Hey, Phantom Flight, everything's
I wouldn't even bother with it. Leave it.
spicy. Just said what's up to you. What's up? Everything spicy.
Hey, everything's spicy. How's it going?
Okay, you know, that's actually a good topic, Al Diaz, because the anamorphic lens, I
Oh,
believe, would be a great lens if it wasn't counterweighted. And I understand the reason for having it counterweighted. That weight is so even when the camera tilts on its XY axis like this, the camera lens will still stay straight. But to be honest, I think it helped. Just bubbles, keep your hand out of the water. Yeah, definitely, dude. Definitely will, dude. I know there's a kid down the block that might want to try it. I should do it when he's around.
All you gotta do is tell him not to.
Yeah, exactly. Don't reach after the battery. Let it bubble. But getting back to the anamorphic
Hey,
lens.
Big Matt, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Matt? The main purpose of the anamorphic lens is to give you that Hollywood style border.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, because the lens is weighted, I have an issue with that because anything that you put on your gimbal already puts a strain on the motors to keep it straight, etc. You should see what happens. And Al Diaz, I don't suggest anyone try this, but if you want to see what I'm talking about and you have any DJI drone, cut it on after it's fully started, and while it's laying on a table, just touch the sides of the motor, the sides of the gimbal, and you'll hear the motors trying to adjust for that little bit that you touched it. And that anamorphic lens is going to put a strain on gimbal motors.
Well, that's why most lenses, most filters that you see out there on the market, I don't care whose it is, they're made so light that the gimbal can calibrate with
Right.
it.
But this one has a weight in it.
Right, I get that. Because the gimbal can't calibrate with the weight of that filter.
Right.
If it could calibrate with the weight of that filter, there'd be no need for that counterweight.
Hey, Hadley, that's good to know that it's not a heart stopper, even more so for me to tell him to stick his hand in there. You know what I should do? Put one of the gold dollars in the bottom and say, if you can pull that out of there, it's yours. But hold on, let me drop this in there. You don't know this kid, or else you would be laughing.
Going on?
You don't know this kid, or else you'd be laughing too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up until we had a fence, and you know the gate that we have in front of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Before we had that, this guy would at least funny. This guy, this kid would come across the street into people's yards and looking at garbage cans for cans and stuff. And people are very funny around here about walking onto their property and doing that. They believe you can walk onto their property from the sidewalk, all right, if I put the cans out on the sidewalk, but don't come past the boundary line and walk down next to my garage or someone's garage and take out the cans. And then on top of it, if there was a bag there, he would take the bag out and leave it on the side and get what he wanted and just leave your shit like that. So now that we have a fence, every now and then he knows I fly a drone. You're like, hey kid, you want to see something funny? And drop the gold dollar in there with the battery.
Yeah, we have people like that around here too.
Not in the morning.
They got this lady that she collects the bottles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she came over in front of the building one night. Now, my building, they have these huge cans out front, and they're made for like different kinds of garbage. She went straight to the recycling one and started pulling out all of the bottles and stuff like that.
Right.
You know how there's other bottles that are not, are not on that list of recycled.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what she does. She leaves a whole big old mess and a big pile and takes all of the stuff that she wants and bounce.
Wow. Wow. I'm not surprised. But it's getting pretty gully out there for these people collecting cans, because there's one guy who comes around in the middle of the night.
$1 a piece.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true, because I do know if you pack a big black garbage can with, how many is it?
The 30-gallon bag?
Yes, the 30-gallon bag. I think you can fit, I don't remember the exact number, but I used to work on an ice cream truck. But I used to work on an ice cream truck, and we used to take our cans and take them in for credit to get more sodas and stuff. Right. And from what I understand, you can get roughly about $15, $20 a bag, $30 bag. So you see a guy with 6 or 7 of those 30-pound bags, gallon bags, they have a pretty good haul there.
Have you seen that guy on the subway? Yo, he's got a setup, yo. He's got the cart, right? And he's got the joints hanging off the side. And he goes from subway station to subway station collecting all of these things. And it's funny because he gets them in and out of the subway, and he's early in the morning.
Yeah.
Early in the morning. And he's got a cart, and it's like extended. And then he's got the bags off the side, and the city got problems picking up the goddamn garbage.
I know, and he's going around from station to station doing
from station to station.
Yeah, yeah. Some of the guys have gotten real creative, but now that I know I should get rid of this battery, I'm definitely going to get rid of this tomorrow.
Now I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, Hadley's idea works. Now ask your wife which one would she rather you do: put it in the bucket or take it to Best Buy?
I'm not going to ask her that. We're not even going to do that. He got jokes now, guys. See?
I'm just saying.
He got jokes.
Let them deal with it. Let somebody over there put it in the bucket.
If that's the case, why don't I take it to the Atlantic Ocean and just drop it in the water there?
Because that's pollution.
All right. Damn it. I'll.
But at least Best Buy will handle it properly, and they'll dispose of it properly.
Diane, when's the next time you go into Best Buy? I got to take this battery to Best Buy, or these guys say I'm polluting the environment.
You throw batteries in the regular garbage so they just bust over?
No, man, no. I'm not the one who's responsible for fire catching garbage.
Garbage barge on fire.
I'm not responsible for the garbage barges or the garbage trucks catching fire in the state of New York. Hadley's, what is that? Hadley's got jokes. Okay. All I know is I didn't know how. I did, and I didn't know how to get rid of the battery. But I thought it would have been funny to tell the kid, "Hey, and then get that gold coin out of there. You could have it."
That might work too. I'm curious to know what'll happen.
Well, he said it's not heart stopping, so if anything, it'll just make his hair stand up on his head a little.
He's gonna go tell his parents.
Yo, they don't care. He's a badass. You know what he does? But he leaves like he's going to school, right, in the morning, and then he goes to the local park, and he sees his dad drive this way and his mom drive that way. He walks up and down the block all day, and then when a neighbor comes out and says, "Take your ass to school," he runs to the next block.
Well, I know this guy that I used to work with that does that.
Paul Murray,
blowing him up.
Paul Murray might be out flying. It is that time of day. It is kind of cool over there where he is.
Did you send him a link? Because I sent him a link. I don't know if he he got it or not.
I will send him a link now, and just in case.
I sent one to him. I sent one to Curtis. I know Curtis has trouble because Curtis is on the West Coast. So being all the way out there, his time difference, he's still at work when we start. You know, if it was 5 o'clock his time, he'd be home.
Hadley says, depending on the C rating, it's a heart stopper. Well, it's a Phantom 4 battery. I can't even read the specs on it, but it couldn't do too much damage. I would tell him just put his finger in the water. I wouldn't tell him to
How's he gonna get the dollar on the bottom of the bucket?
It's 245 there. Okay.
What happens if the kid, you say to the kid, if you get that dollar off the bottom of the bucket, it's yours, and the kid kicks over the bucket and takes the dollar?
Then I guess I'll have to let him have the dollar. But if he kicks it over and the battery's still arcing through the water, you should get a little shock.
Or if he kicks it over on your side, maybe.
No, I'm not doing it on my property. Are you kidding me? Hadley says polluting. No, I to be honest, I wouldn't. Someone just left a comment on something. He's a bad kid, but you want to know what? His parents do too much yelling and not enough of this upside his head. You know? But that's what the issue is. But we're not going to go there. This is a drone channel. Let's get back focus here.
But yeah, that would be. I'd like to see that though in the bucket. I'm just not going to try it.
You discharge yours in a garage. It won't discharge. You know how you hold a button in on DJI drones? This way you can turn the button, you can cut them on. You press, double press, and it cuts on as if it's in the drone. And it slowly starts discharging. Herman's been broadcasting, live streaming for over 3 months now, Herman?
Yes.
And this thing is still on 3 bars. I had it set to discharge in 11 days. Well, 3 months and change is a lot longer than 11 days. I'm going to get rid of this heifer tomorrow.
You know what you could do with it? Being it's going to be like about 100 degrees, just put it in your neighbor's trash can and run back across the street.
Oh, because Hadley says the salt bath is the discharge. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you.
How long does it take? A few hours, a few minutes, what? When it stops bubbling? Hadley's going, oh my God. Hey, look. I'm new to all this FPV stuff, man. I'm barely getting flights in as it is now. And now I have to buy a safe for my batteries.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's worth it.
And then letting it burn up your floor or your wall in your house, and then you have an issue. I've seen those nightmares.
Oh, see, he says when it's done bubbling. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
See, when it's done bubbling. See, that's another thing you got to throw in the clause and getting the dollar out the bucket. You got to do it before the water stops bubbling.
You know, that wouldn't be too. No, I appreciate it. Hey, what's up, Furball? You still alive?
Hey, Furball, what's good? Tomorrow's that day, right?
Yeah. That's why he's saying his last goodbyes now. Tomorrow's that day. Val will be there. And Val's life will be in Canada with Canadian Drone Hub. Oh, yeah. Hey, Kim, check this out. Hold on, Kim. I got something to show you. I just got it in the mail yesterday.
Well, he's going to get what he's got to show you.
I'm coming. Here you go, Kim. I got an orange hoodie. I got an orange hoodie from you guys. So hopefully when we get our merch up, we can intertwine and do all of that stuff. I forgot to tell you. Yeah.
Trying not to get hit, huh?
Kim says he's burnt out, tired. But you've been working out lately. Try to keep ahead of Val when she's chasing you, huh?
Well, what he's probably doing over there is probably look an alternate place to hang out.
Alternate place. You didn't build a tree house or something? Yeah. Yeah, I like it. It's in my size, 3X. In orange. Hold on, someone's knocking on my door.
Somebody's at the window. Gotta see who that is. But hey, Kim, how's it going over there?
Where's the key?
You got on?
It's on now.
Hold on,
Wait a minute.
I'll be right there, Herman.
You're about to kill it.
Come on, you know how she is. Dang. Go ahead, man. I'm here.
Good. But talking to Kim here, because he said he was doing some yard work on the house. I thought, well, how often you got to get out there with that tractor, Kim? So yeah, Lawrence, you still there? I guess he'll be back. But yeah, guys, make sure you guys hit that like button.
Hey, love my drones. What's going on? Herman, I just want to get something to drink out of the fridge.
All right. Love my toes. Good evening. It's getting it all ready to be. Okay.
Hey, Furball, I got a
And
question
that's
for you.
hours going, isn't it?
When Val gets there, where are you really going to hide? That's my question. What's up, Drone Life RC? Hey, love.
Well, today I'm doing pretty good. Yesterday I didn't have such a great day. I was not in a good place. That's neither here nor there.
Hey, Furball says he's not hiding anywhere.
He's not hiding anything. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny? Every
What?
year they tell people about these storms, and then some people pack up and they leave, and other people say, you know what? I left before and it wasn't so bad. I'm going to ride it out this time. And every time they say that, that was when the worst one comes. So she's a coming.
For those of you who don't know, the storm called Val's Life is hitting Canadian Drone Hub tomorrow sometime. And I can't wait for all of them to go live. And I don't expect to see Kim there because she has threatened him. Hold on.
Bodily harm. Yeah, she said she's coming for you, Kim. She's going to take your drone. She said the Phantom is hers. I guess she's coming to run your house now. It's going to take over.
All I want to see is Kim get those batteries. Hey, what's up, Mr. Crowley in the drone? What's
Hey,
going
Mr.
on, dude?
Crowley.
I want to see him get those batteries. Once you get those batteries, Kim, I'll be happy.
Well, you know what? What I really like to see is the look on Centroid's face when they pull up at the house.
Let's see if he's still got hair in his head. Now, So technically, she should be on her way to those guys upstate New York from us, right?
Probably. I don't know where she was coming from exactly. I saw her on a beach, so that could be anywhere. But that's neither here nor there. Like I said, I don't know.
Said you need to get Kim in the air. You have 4 4S batteries already, and Centroid, the battery mule, is bringing you some more. Oh no, she's not visiting with those guys. She's not coming through New York.
Oh no,
Oh, we don't have to worry.
she's going upstate.
She's going
Crossing
upstate.
to Canada.
She put up a video that said she was in Syracuse already. Oh, that's probably Herman when you said she went live.
Yeah, I saw a video. She had.
Mike Roche lives in Syracuse, doesn't he?
I think he's up there somewhere. I'm not.
Yeah, Mike Roche, I think, is in Syracuse. Uh-oh. Poor
Okay.
Mike. I can see Mike now chasing her around.
Okay.
What's up, Justin? What's
good, man?
Dying.
Enjoying that weather?
Uh,
I know you don't.
Yo, you're a mechanic, so I know that weather. Are you guys keeping the doors closed?
we have no AC. We just got fans circulating.
Right.
There's no AC.
No.
Oh hell no! And working on cars?
So I'm gonna post something on Facebook, Lawrence. Share it to the people so they can understand my pain. You're gonna get a
Hey,
laugh.
Brent.
Let me just do it now. But
Where are you gonna post it? Put it on. Send it to me on Messenger.
That's what I was telling you, Lawrence. I'm working in construction. These days like this, you take a couple of shirts with you to work
Yeah, I can imagine.
because you go right through them.
And the people that work there on the other side that has AC have the nerve to come over here and be like, "Oh, it's really hot outside." Standing in your face, and I'm just like, "Get away from me, please."
Hadley says he's a mechanic for 17 years. He knows what you're talking about. He feels your pain.
So I'm gonna send you this picture, Lawrence, and you're gonna laugh.
Well, how are you sending it to me?
I sent it in Messenger.
In Messenger? Okay, let me go to another window.
That was a port for some AC.
Just got it. I just heard the ding on my phone, so give me a few seconds. What the hell?
What?
Oh shit!
See,
Hold on.
we were standing in front of that.
Screen. Hold on. I have to go to Hangout. This is how Justin and these guys are working at his job. This is how hot it is out there. Okay. You guys can see the screen? You can see the whole screen? Okay. Can you see that?
We were literally standing in front of that.
It's an air conditioner on top of a bucket aimed at the cars while he's working on it. Are you serious, man? This is where you're working at?
I'm serious.
You can see that, Herman?
Yeah, I see it.
That's crazy.
There's only one problem with that. You blowing the exhaust right back into the same air you're trying to cool.
Cool air blowing on you. I'm good. Just
That's funny.
few seconds of some cool air that worked.
Did it work? Aldia says, did it work?
For a little bit.
Until it just got too hot, where it was just sucking in the hot air and blowing out hot air.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta keep the two separate. That was a good idea and concept.
That
Or at
and
least put the back of the AC unit, hook it up to a vent, and keep it separate. That was a good idea and concept.
But that was some.
At least put the back of the AC unit, hook it up to a vent. What's that? Someone playing a video?
I don't know.
But that was
I thought that was your end.
Did you mute? Did you?
That's me. I had YouTube wasn't muted.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
But
Oh. Anyway, Wednesday nights with those guys. As you see how hot it is, Justin. The only time to go out is early morning, or excuse me, or late at night. And tomorrow I got to work leave at 6, so I'm probably gonna be up at about 4, just trying to cool off and make sure everything I have to take with me to work is frozen.
Well, shoot, the other day I was standing in Calvert Vaux Park, sweating, just dripping. I had to dry off in between flights.
So, you guys have any FPV news? Anything new happening in the FPV world? Other than I did see one drone, one particular FPV drone, I forget the make of it, where they're selling it with the GPS chip on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. I just don't remember. It wasn't a common name. That's probably why I can't remember.
What's funny about that? They were talking about something to that effect with that with the new ruling and stuff that they're talking. It's some things that are in the talks about FPV drones over in the UK. And
Yes.
they went in. They mentioned something about that too.
Yeah, they are. What is? I'm trying to get the exact. Oh, here it is. The flawed BBC drone documentary does further damage to the UK drone industry. And what happened was the BBC decided to do a drone video and to show the good use of drones and stuff like that. But instead, they turned and flipped the script and started showing mishaps and things like that.
Right.
So right now in the UK, they've changed the drone rules. And from what this guy says, this is quoted. The UK drone industry has taken a beating in recent weeks. First, the head of the Unmanned Traffic Management, which is at NATS, Sandy Sage, took it upon himself to categorize drone pilots as either clueless, careless, and criminal. And
Right,
this
and
was in a
that's why-
parliamentary hearing.
And that's remember I told you DJI lashed back out on the BBC report.
Yes,
That's
yes.
what they were talking about. They lashed back because they were saying that how they showed a set of unrealistic things, and when they had a chance to go one way, they went the other way with it.
Yes, 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 which I think kind of sucks because right now in the UK, they just changed up the whole game so that guys can't fly half as much. And over here in the United States, you better take notes and watch what's happening around the world in the world of drones because even though we are one of the most advanced countries in the world, as you know, our rules and laws are real screwed up when it comes to UAV.
Well, also I've noticed that it seems like almost everybody is basically getting on the same page, really, little by little. On it may be slight variations and differences, but pretty much country to country now, they're all kind of like going in the same direction.
I
And
saw that.
if you get a chance to check out Sean's video, what do you call it? The one there on the FPV in the UK. There was some things that was quite interesting on that. They may not be able to fly in parks anymore and stuff like that. They may
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And on top of it, for this documentary to screw things up for drone pilots there, the parliament, which is their government, is saying, hey, these guys are hitting things, they're falling out of the sky, and all of the footage that was used was outdated footage. But
Well,
they made it seem like it was modern footage.
But that's always been what they've done, what they've used for the rules and regulations on flying the drone. But what I was saying is that in Sean's video, it's the UK specifically going after the guys who fly FPV. And that's what he was talking about. And that
You're thinking about getting that drone, Justin?
Well, look what they just came out with. That's what I want to talk about. They came with the Yixing trash can 4K Cinewolf. I'll put the thing in a.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw the link. My problem is, and I've been told this by some FPV flyers, and I'm gonna listen to them. They said stay away from anything Yixing. You're gonna get a headache. Now, how true that is, I don't know, but
I mean,
I had my Yixing Wizard for a good little while before she stopped working on me.
Yeah, that's the X220. Yeah, I understand that, but The whoops, I don't see any problems with them, especially when it's coming with a 3-cell.
Is that brushless? Is that one brushless?
Comes with a
Yeah,
3-cell.
because it has a F4. I see the the flight controller
Yeah, it has an F4 and it's 4K Cinewoop.
and a CADX cam DVR.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Might have to look into that. Let me bookmark that to do some more research. Well, Herman, my problem with getting back to the BBC,
Right.
the BBC is often like our local news. They only put out what?
Well, you know, it's funny you say that because most people here in the States, you know, that watch the BBC News, and and this is everybody, you know, if I got a story about you, then maybe perhaps it's true. But if you're telling the same story, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, please support each other and please click that like button. You guys have, in order to get those support from each other, we have to support each other when we come to these different live streams. We
You know,
appreciate you coming on Wednesday nights with those guys. That's the end of the show. No, I'm joking.
you know, but
I,
you know,
I had to say that. Hey, what's up, Nacho?
hey, Nacho, what's good, man?
Nacho rolling. What's up, dude?
Go for some nachos.
Al Diaz. How come? Oh, you got to make Al Diaz a moderator, dude. He's been on the panel before.
Yeah, on this show.
Yeah, and not on this show, but
Oh,
Don't support me. I won't support back.
so Justin, how's my long distance bird coming?
Why you don't want to be supported, Nacho?
Say, I gotta call you later because I got some extra stuff that you might be able to use. I got a couple of.
Well, I'm only asking because I'm dying to fly that damn thing. Those of you who don't know,
I'm trying to finish
I
everything.
like FPV, but I've come to the conclusion soldering. I do better putting a piece of solder on a cat's tail than I do on a piece of plastic. But Justin is my eyes and ears. What happened?
I'm gonna try to finish everything this week because I want to finish mine so we go fly test it out.
Yeah, but we got to get to the park. We got to get to the park, and plus I want to visit that park over there by you. That Sin, I'm ready to do a video, but I need a cameraman.
You know what I got to do, Lawrence?
Yeah.
I got to get one of those things so I can show you how to fly.
That's what I'm hoping you do.
And I'm going to buy mine built because I'm not going to deal with that nonsense you deal with, but going back and forth.
See, Al Diaz is like me. He says I tried and I effed up 2 boards, costing too much. So Al Diaz, you need a young man like Justin to do the soldering for you. And then, hey, Nunley. So once he does the soldering for you, if anything comes apart, you just take it to him like he's your tech.
Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Curtis.
I made it home. I made it home in time. I can't believe it.
That's what.
See, so the links did work.
So what now?
I said the links did work.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got
No,
home and
see what the problem is. Herman's links only go to certain people. He tries to send it to someone, and they never get it.
Oh wow.
Only Paul.
Oh, it's only Paul. Paul may have you blocked. Who knows?
why would you block Paul? Paul's lovable.
No, Paul may have Herman blocked.
Paul sends me messages, but I can't send him one.
Well, that's weird.
But I was able to send him the link.
Hey, what's up, Nerd Doctor? And welcome to Wednesday Nights with those guys. How are you, Curtis?
Doing good. How you guys doing?
I'm all right. It's just Hades here in New York.
And steamy.
It appears there's a bit of breaking drone news. I'm trying to catch them on it real quick. So give me just a second here.
Okay.
Nacho says, "What's up, Curtis?" And
what's up, Nacho?
B quad do you have? Al Diaz, I would seriously take that bird and give it to someone who can do the soldering work and be done with it. I've come to the conclusion that I can't solder crap. All right. If I could solder a piece of metal onto a cat's tail, that would stick a whole lot better than me trying to put a piece of solder on a plastic board with gold leads. So Al Diaz says, "What's up?"
Tail on the donkey.
Look,
I know.
all I know is I did what they were supposed to. You clean the tip of the soldering gun, you have it at a hot enough temperature so that you can tin the tip of the soldering gun, and then you tin whatever you're supposed to be soldering, correct? And then you attach it with solder. And what happens? The tin runs off of the soldering gun onto the board and beads up into little balls.
Hey, Lawrence, can I interrupt you for just a second?
Yeah.
I got something to show you guys. Hang on here just a second. Let me get over here. This is just now breaking, by the way. LAPD responded to a report of a drone strapped with an explosive in downtown LA.
Okay.
The Los Angeles Police Department was responding to a reported drone strapped with explosive, possibly fireworks, near downtown Los Angeles on Wednesday. The LAPD's bomb squad was en route to the drone, which was reported on top of a building at the 100th block of West 7th Street. And no evacuations were immediately ordered. It was unclear who was in control of the device or if they intended harm. This is a breaking story. Refresh for updates. Let me refresh. See if there's anything new.
Hey.
Nothing. So this is going on right now, guys.
Okay, over LA.
Yep,
So
over
someone
here.
probably strapped a bottle rocket or something to a drone. Like I saw one guy. And
Handle.
actually, talking about that, Curtis, there was a guy somewhere in the Midwest. His neighbors were having a house party. I just saw it today. The neighbors were having a house party. He went over and complained to them, "Can you turn it down? Can you turn it down?" They turned it down a little. And like you know, with most parties where there's alcohol, the music slowly goes back up. He taped a Roman candle to his bottom of his Phantom 4.
Yeah, I
and he
saw
went up
that.
with it. Yeah. I just saw that today, man.
That's insane.
What's up, Nerdcopter?
But guys,
For everyone that thinks the government planning some BS, it's a little bit of both, Nerdcopter, because I know some morons that all over the world that are just ruining it for us safe drone pilots and safe FPV pilots. And then also you have the government, like here in New York, they're telling the New York City Department of Parks employees that flying drones is illegal in parks. Now, my thing is, Curtis, Herman, and everyone else, and Justin, if if the law is no drone flying in public city parks, how come you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars every year to say no barbecuing, no alcohol, no drugs, no this, but you can do this, this, and that, but they don't put the picture of a drone or say no drone flying?
well, you got to also remember those signs also says no pets and no dogs.
True. And
Dogs
everybody's
walking
walking.
down the park, shitting everywhere. And you got plastic bags to clean up shit. That doesn't mean that the dog's still out there.
Right. Right.
So everything is out the window, and it's just who they want to pick on at the time.
I just did a little bit of an extended search too, and it's only showing up on another website called the Yeshiva World Report. So I'm not sure how accurate this is. And the first one was on a
you know
breaking
what?
911 report. So
You
it
know
could
what?
not be real.
I have not heard any special report between Google, CNN,
Mhm.
and a few other channels. I'm more than sure we would have saw or heard something on the news.
Yeah, because I
Well-
didn't hear anything about it.
I don't have the TV on, so I don't know.
And another issue. Well, I hope it's not true. For us drone pilots, I hope it's not true. But
I
I
hope so
can
too.
say the 4th of July, I do know a lot of people that attach certain things to their drones that shouldn't have been attached and use them as projectiles.
Yeah.
I understand that too, but you have to also remember that a lot of those things that what you're talking about, people keep that amongst themselves, local, around them and their friends. I mean, even though it's stupid and most people are not flying up over downtown LA or downtown Manhattan with a drone. And like I said before, I don't want to make it seem like I'm a conspiracy theorist or something like that. But when people want to have something, a lot of funny things seem to happen before they get it. You know, I don't know if you can remember how far back you remember before here in New York, yellow cabs used to operate in all 5 boroughs.
Yes, yes.
And it got to the point where they made it to where yellow cab drivers were afraid to drive into Queens. They were afraid to drive into Brooklyn.
You know
They
why?
afraid to
Because local cab companies were beating them up.
Right, exactly. To get the territory. Now, when you go into those areas, the gypsy cabs, as they call them, were controlling all of those outer boroughs. And
Yeah,
the yellow cab stayed in, and then the yellow cab said, you know what? Since it's that way, I'm not going to Staten Island now, because once I take you into Staten Island, I don't got a fear coming out of Staten Island. So I'm not going there. And then it got into the nonsense of territory. And so when people want things, a lot of stories seem to come up, and a lot of mishaps seem to happen just to get it. And delivery packages are coming.
well, coming, as Herman was going to say earlier, Lance coming to a town near you.
Oh yeah, Lance is coming to a town near you.
So what's going on, Kurt? What's happening on your side of the planet?
Well, I just got home and my messages were blowing up with this report. But as I'm on NBC, CBS, and CNN, and I'm not seeing any other reports. So there's only 2 news stations reporting this right now. So
And they're not known news stations.
no. So this could be just a clickbait thing. You never know.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope for us drone pilots that it's not true. Now I could see that report being done on the 4th of July. I could see that.
Well, on the tail of the only reason I kind of suspected that it might have been true was because it's on the tail of the fireworks video you were just talking about, Lawrence.
Okay. Okay.
We often see copycat things. You know, somebody sees something, they go, "Oh, I can do that." You know, all I got to do is this, and this. They weren't the originator, but they'll copy it pretty quick. So, because of that, when I first saw this and guys were sending me links to it, I thought, okay, this could be something. But at the same time, you know, who knows? But I'm on NBC News on one tab, CBS on the other. Now I'm on MSNBC. There's nothing there, and CNN, and there's nothing there. That doesn't mean that it hasn't happened. It just means that it's not gotten to be a big enough story that the national news is covering it just yet.
And let's see, they may not want more copycats and be trying to hush it as well. Because, you know, once it hits one major news station, then the rest of them have to go in because this guy got the story first. So let's just hope that that's not. What are you saying, Justin?
No, they probably want to make sure everything's true because, you know, a lot of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, to fact check.
Well, yeah, if you're a national news station, you want to fact check. But for this particular instance, it's just a matter of a call to the police department.
Right,
The police
exactly. Something like that would have probably been on the
you know, somebody like NBC or CBS or even CNN has a direct line to most police stations, and all they do is call and say, "Hey, we need to verify that this is going on. Do we need to send reporters out? Do you need to clear the area?" And the police like to use the news stations to help keep an area clear, keep people informed, and say, "Okay, this is going on. You people need to stay away from 7th Street in that situation." So it's not like the police would hide something like this, or they're worried about copycats. They would.
He says, okay, Los Angeles CBS local news. All right, Cooling, that link that he posted. I'm looking at video now, but I'm trying to get past the commercial to see what's happening here. I'll let you know in a second. It's supposed to be Channel 2, KCAL, CBS Los Angeles. And after you get past the Mike's commercial, I don't see where the sound is. Where? Oh, here it is.
They said police could not
Okay.
confirm the drone was carrying fireworks.
According to LAPD, their media relations, this is downtown LA that you're looking at. LAPD's Rampart Division is reporting that around 10:30 a.m. on the 1000 block West 7th Street, on the 1000 block of West 7th Street, that the bomb squad is now responding for a drone that landed on the roof of an office building. So it looks like you
It's
had some
a
officers there.
drone that landed on the roof of an office building.
They don't have it locked off or roped off. They're just kind of checking it out, seeing what this report is all about, talking maybe to some witnesses and some of the office workers, but pointing out that the Federal Aviation Administration requires that all drone owners, they have to follow very strict regulations and laws. They have to obtain that remote certificate. They gotta check to see what this drone is.
They're not. No one's saying if they confirmed it.
What happened?
No, nothing saying that it was confirmed that it was even a drone.
Well, he said 2 hours ago, I don't know if you could hear, but
Yeah.
she said something about a drone landed on the top of a roof.
Yeah, and they were showing a helipad. I'm looking at it here on my other computer too because Google Hangout sucks. I couldn't see anything you shared, Lawrence.
Nacho Rolling says Eyewitness News says it had fireworks strapped to it.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing too.
Yeah, okay. So some dummy was trying to fly a drone with fireworks on it and wind up landing on a roof, possibly due to LBC, because I don't see any other reason for landing on the roof of a building, but I hope they catch his ass and lock him up.
By the way, kudos to Herman and you guys hear it. Breaking news right here on those guys. Are you guys kicking butt or what?
Hey, you brought it in, so we appreciate it much.
Thank you.
Breaking news. You get your breaking news right here on those guys.
Yes.
That's where it happens.
To ask you about Curtis, those about the FTA aviator, that we were talking about before. Did you find out anything else about it?
I've got a meeting with them later on tonight,
Okay.
and kind of find out some
Hey,
more
what's up,
specifics. I can tell you guys there's it's so for me it's a little I'm under an NDA on this and I can't say much, but I will say that if you have not registered for the free account for airdata.com, and if you guys are you guys familiar with AirData?
No.
No.
Oh, wait.
What?
Is that the map that shows
No. AirData so what airdata.com is it's a data collection source for the information that's inside your DJI drone. So essentially your drone has a black box.
Right.
And you get to see a portion of it when you're flying your drone, or you look back at your flights and you watch the flight on your tablet, but they don't share all the information with you. So what AirData does, they got the SDK, and they've not broken, but they have the code, and they're able to break the code down into very, very specific things, so that you can actually, in fact, I can show you this stuff here.
Yeah, that would be even better. That would be even better. I do remember you mentioning it, but I don't think you went into detail. You showed it briefly on how it shows your past flights or something to that effect.
Yeah.
He was saying when I think when Philly Drone Life had the issue and they thought his drone had gotten shot down.
Right. Let me go over here and share my screen.
It would tell him if it was a malfunction.
Okay.
Give me just a second here. I'll get us over here and we'll go through this. So this is my account right here on AirData. These are my flights. And then you get all this information. You have information about your batteries. For instance, your flight history. This is this particular battery that I have. Usage, service, trends. And it tells the, once your trends start getting down here, you're like, okay, the battery's in pretty bad shape. It tells you stuff about your drones. Here's all my different drones that I have. Usage, flight history. You can merge this stuff, service. I've got extended service and basic service due on this one. Full service not due yet. The interesting stuff though is the flights though, and these are your flights over here. So I can just go over here and pick pick a random one.
Oh wow!
And so some of the stuff.
Hadley goes, is this DJI only?
No, it is not DJI only. And I can once I kind of go over this, I'll go back and show you. Actually, I can do this real quick.
Oh, even shows a percentage too. Wow.
So this is the
flight. I like that flight path there.
So the various supported apps are all of these apps right here. If you're flying with any of these, and I can tell you that that I was on the phone last night with Scott.
Even works with Leachy.
I was working with Scott Parazinski and Iran from Air Data, so that you will be able to use Air Data with, if you get the FT Aviator, you will be able to use it. It's not listed just yet, but they're working on getting that, and it doesn't take very much to get this working.
I don't
So,
see Ortel Robotics yet, Hadley, but it is an open SDK. So there's a possibility they could be adding it.
Supported aircraft are Phantom 3, Phantom 4, Inspire 1, 2, Mavic, Mavic 2, Matrice, Spark,
Spark,
Anafi Thermal, Bebop, the Parrot Disco, Unique H2500.
everything.
Wow.
Okay, everything but the Evo so far. So that's a matter of time.
And I can honestly tell you that they are working with the Evo as well.
Okay.
So I mean, I've been in contact with the folks over there and talking to them. So in this particular drone, this is my longest flight time, my hottest battery, longest mileage, fast speed, highest altitude. Excuse me. And then you can go over here to stuff like this, and this will show you your flight paths, stuff like that. It shows you notifications down here. For instance, data loss, data link, connection lost for 1 second, which is no real issue. Everybody loses connection. They just don't realize how often that they lose connection.
Yeah.
Right. And it explains stuff down here. But anyway, it more or less tells you pretty much everything that's going on during this particular flight. There's some checklists and stuff. There's more details over here. You can go into the power section and look at your batteries, see how well your batteries are doing, your battery cells during that flight. I've got a little bit of a deviation on the cell 4 number here.
Informative for info, yeah. For
My cells graph. So in this particular battery, I need to do a recalibration on this particular battery. It goes into your sensors. You can see what your sensor score is. One of the you can also look at your control functions, rudder response, your rudder map. You can look at weather. So you were out. I'm going through this real fast so I can tell you guys about this stuff. But it'll tell you what your weather was like while you were flying. Any media that you've saved, it can save some of that media on your on here. But some of the really cool stuff, and I really like this.
So
They have this
20 times more informative than DJI.
exactly.
Right.
So for this particular flight, this was my Recon 1 drone. I was 21 minutes, takeoff 99%, landing batteries 20%. It names the drone. I got 5 warnings, max temp, max altitude, distance, all that information is right here. But this is something really cool, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to share this with you. I got to figure out how to do this. This KML file will open up Google Earth. And let me stop sharing for 1 second and then start resharing because I got to go to a different app to do that.
Okay.
Hang on 1 second here.
Give him a second, Al Diaz, and he'll put the link up for you. But I like the fact that he gives you so much information on your battery. Okay,
So
Google Maps works in conjunction with it.
not only that, but here is your flight
Right.
in 3D.
Oh, shit.
Really? Wow.
Now that's hot. I like that.
You
I
might
have
not see that, Lawrence.
I've not told you guys about this. Seriously?
You mentioned it the
Oh,
other
you
day.
mentioned it, but we never really got into it because you mentioned it about for Philly Drone Life when he thought his drone had gotten shot down. I heard you mention it then. He told him that
So
would
you can see my
happen to its battery or the drone or whatever.
Can
so this
see
is my
how-
home point. This is where I took off.
Right.
And then let's see. I gotta grab the wrong thing. Then I flew over here, flew over there. So yeah, you can see everywhere that you've flown, and you can save all this information. So here's another spot that I flew. We're gonna shoot over here.
Okay.
That's cool.
Well, that wasn't an actual flight. That's one place I want to go fly. I'm also listing places that I think are interesting to fly.
Hitting spots.
Mhm.
Al Diaz wants to know if you have a link.
Airdata.com.
Airdata.com. I'm going to
Now-
report and I'm going to pull the link up right now.
So here's where I live, right here, and then this is kind of one of my flights that I've done over here. So you can save all your flights over here. Let me stop sharing this. Discard that.
Now let me ask you this, Curtis.
Here's the link right here, guys.
How does it get your data? How does it get
So there's an app on the Google Play Store or iOS.
okay.
and then you download it. It's called, I think it's still called HD. It's called HD Sync. You can type in Air Data, but it'll come up as HD Sync. And I've created a series of tutorials. Let me go grab that real quick, and I'll put that in there.
Air Data HD.
I just put the link in the chat for those of you who want to take it and bookmark it. Hadley said he just signed up for it.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's the thing: is it's free.
Wow. Impressive. That's a win right there.
Well, I want to give you a little bit more information, though. It's free with a certain amount of limitations. I want to get this link to you guys. This is my website, the Drone Owners Network, and I created a whole page with a series of links of how to use Air Data. Let me get back over here to here. I got stuff going all over the place. Okay. So this is my website, and on that particular page, I have 5 or 6 videos on how to utilize and do all the things that I just kind of ran through real fast. So they have several accounts. They have a paid account, a subscription service, I should say, and the free account. And the free account is what is confusing to most people. What they allow you to do with the free account is upload 100 flights. When you go back and you upload flight number 101, flight number 1 falls off. You no longer have access to flight number 1. When you upload flight number 102, flight number 2 falls off. So you can continually upload without a problem on the free account.
Right.
Now those flights never go away. Let's say you've been flying and you've uploaded 120 flights, and you go, you know what? I really love this service. I want access to some of the other features that are in there. Some of the recording features, some of the features that I can utilize with the FAA as far as reporting, some of the features I can give to potential customers. If I'm a 107 pilot, I can give them records of my flight.
You can use it for a learning process too.
Oh yeah. So if you want to go back in and say, I want to upgrade this, and I want to use this subscription service, which is like, I think there's a $6 and there's like a $14, and then there's an enterprise. The enterprise is for like big companies that have drone pilots. So anyway, my point being is you never lose all those flights, the ones that fell off that you didn't see. Once you go to the subscription service, you get access to those as well.
That's true, Al Diaz. And for the purpose of a 107 licensed pilot, you want to document your actual flights. Here's physical data of your flight to show you. If someone says you were someplace you weren't, you could actually pull this up and say, well, hey, I was in the area, but that wasn't me.
Exactly. And to more a finite detail. I can tell you one of the greatest things that I found, and this is a true story. Years ago, when we would have problems with our Phantoms, when the very first Phantoms came out, and you had an issue or it disconnected and you lost connection and it landed somewhere and you went and found it, you didn't really trust that drone anymore. So the next time you flew it, 10 feet away, 20 feet away, whatever, you were scared for what happened. That's human nature. That's the way things work. So a couple of years ago, I was out over Bud Bay Inlet, which is where I live, just off a couple miles from where I live. And I was out flying over the water. I was about 700 yards away, and I lost connection with my Mavic 1, Mavic Pro, and I just lost complete connection. It said return to home, and it started coming back. I couldn't see it, because when you lose connection, it's gone. You get no video feed. Right. And about 3 minutes into it, it finally came back to me, and I said, "Oh, there it is. Okay, no problem." Did what it was supposed to do, but I couldn't figure out what was wrong. So when I landed, I pulled up my tablet, I pulled up the screen, I uploaded all the information to Air Data, all my data files, and then it says you've lost connection. I was like, well, okay, I lost connection. What's the big deal? Well, I went to the KML file, I clicked on that, went to Google Earth, and I started looking around where I lost connection. What I couldn't see from where I was a 100,000 watt radio station tower that I was about 30 feet away from.
Oh shit!
That was behind me. So it essentially just blocked my signal.
Right.
I kind of knew it was there. I didn't realize it was there. So now when I go fly, and after that, I was like, okay, I know exactly what happened. Now when I go fly, I just don't go near that radio tower. But I had the full confidence to go out and fly again, as opposed to what we did before, where we're like, I don't know what's wrong with my drone. I don't know if I can trust it. You know, it got away from me. I'm not sure. Using a service like AirData will give you the confidence to get your drone back up in the air, because if you understand the problem, you understand the solution. If you understand the solution, it's just a matter of going flying again.
Right.
So it is a valuable, valuable resource. I can't believe I haven't told you guys about this.
See, Lawrence, that's what I was telling you with the time when I had the problems when we were at Five Islands. And
Yeah.
also, if you remember when we were at in Fort Greene,
That would have been perfect reason.
told you about going.
You know
over-
what? I don't have a blue wrench. My link didn't work.
It didn't?
No. I guess I don't deserve a blue wrench, so I can't put it up there.
I
I
was
see.
just telling him I didn't see a blue wrench, but he says on his end he sees a blue wrench.
Type something in the chat.
I just did. I put a link in there.
Type
I don't
something
have.
in the chat. 'Cause
I'm
the
looking
link
at it.
is here. I'm looking at the link.
I'm looking at it and it didn't come up.
Type something in the chat.
All right, I'll put the link again. Here we go.
Because I can see the link.
Yep, there we go, blue wrench.
Okay, blue wrench. I'm good. Hey, dude, I got a blue wrench. I got a blue
I've
wrench.
been pushing your links through, Hadley. That's strange. That's strange. I don't know. Nacho says, "Screw Curtis. Don't give him.
Curtis, don't give him a wrench. It's blue.
He gets no love. I don't know."
Oh, they were on Amazon Prime Day. You didn't get one, Curtis?
No. Apparently, I didn't.
Amazon Prime is giving out
sitting here
blue
getting-
wrenches.
I'm sitting here giving you guys great information, and it's not even going out. So to finish my conversation, though, because I didn't tell you guys about AirData and stuff, there's some great new additions right around the corner. If you are registered with AirData right now, there's some amazing stuff that's coming down the pike. I have it in my phone. It's ready to go. I have the beta of it. It looks beautiful. It's a wonderful thing. You guys are going to use it 100. You guys are going to use it as much as you do your drones. That's how good this is. What's coming. So you need to get on with AirData. It's
I'm
free.
always interested to know where certain problems happen, because when I was a lot younger, we used to be graffiti writers, and what we did was we had a map
What?
of the MTA subway system. So on
You
top
did what?
I'm ignoring you, Kurt.
Okay.
So on top of the map, we would put all of the spots where there were layouts and where there were escape routes and stuff. That would be great for a map to show, okay, there's a lot of interference in that area. You might want to fly a little more carefully in that section. You know, and if you could see where you lose signal at, you know where these events happen.
Yeah, I use it. I mean, I swear I use it as much as I do anything else. When I go fly, the minute I'm done flying, I hit sync and everything just gets synced already. By the time I get home, when I'm putting my drone away and I'm putting my batteries away and figuring out what I'm going to do, and before I even download my footage, I've got the computer on and I'm checking to make sure that everything was okay. Specifically for those batteries, because 99% of the time, the things that go wrong with your drone has to do with your batteries, and that's right up front. So that's Nacho Roland. He blew me off for dinner. Well, dude, all you offered was hamburgers. Seriously, it's like a 2-hour ride to you, and it's like, let's meet for hamburgers, man. What happened to lobby? No, I'm kidding. I couldn't get off work in time. He has a weird work schedule with me. But anyway, I digress. So AirData, you guys owe it to yourself. It's free.
I bookmarked it already.
Just register and try it. Once you start playing around with some of the stuff, you'll go, why haven't I used this before? There's so much information here that I'm just as a hobby pilot. There's so much information there just to go through and look and see the condition, the health of your drone. It's amazing.
Nacho says it's raining there. He can ride up to you.
It is raining.
Okay, so
It is Seattle. So what do you expect?
so Curtis, now you can offer him hamburgers.
No, Curtis, offer him a cheeseburger.
I would not step in it up.
If I had offered him dinner, it would be a bacon blue cheeseburger. If we're going to go the cheeseburger route, it's not going to be just a cheeseburger. It will be a bacon blue cheeseburger. If he would just get off on the weekends, that's what we need to do, Nachos. You need to get off on the weekends.
There are very few places I know that sell a real blue cheeseburger. Jackson Hole is one of them here in New York. Their burgers are so big, they put it on a Kaiser roll.
So to get on another fun subject, we've discussed having a meetup in Philadelphia, and I've mentioned it to a few of my friends that are in the area. Not only you guys, but some other guys that are also nearby, and they're like, "Oh yes, come! You got to come out here. You have to come out here. Love to meet you, Curtis. Love to meet you." And I mentioned it on my Facebook page, and I says it, and the title of it was the Great Big Philly Cheesesteak and Drones Meetup in Philly. And one of my friends said, "Kurt, I love you, but if you go to Philadelphia and you use the words Philly cheesesteak, you're going to get your ass kicked." And I said, you know what? I have never been to the East Coast. I don't know the lingo. So I need to have a show where we just talk about the proper etiquette and the proper lingo for me to use when I'm in that area so that I don't run into a problem.
I still don't know the proper language. Give me the same. That's all.
I kind of see this as kind of another Val type episode because she's going into an area where she's not familiar with. This is me going into an area where I'm not familiar with.
I can tell you there are two famous cheesesteak places. There's Pat's Famous Cheesesteaks, which was the original.
See, you did it right there. You didn't say Philly cheesesteak. You said cheesesteak.
Right, because Pat's Famous Cheesesteaks is how they word it. Now, across the street is Gino's Cheesesteaks. Now, from what I understand, they came a few years after Pat's Famous Cheesesteak was there and have always been their competition. Now, what we also found out was those are places where the tourists go. Now, we need to go to the places where they make real cheesesteaks.
The real deal, yes.
Yes.
Right.
And what we were told, you have to go to the hood for that.
I'm fine with that as long as I'm going with you guys.
Close to a bathroom.
I don't think that'll be a problem, but like Justin said, we need access to a bathroom if we're going to eat this stuff.
I'm okay with that. I'm strangely enough, I'm okay with that. I am a foodie. I do enjoy fresh food. I love fresh crab cakes. I have those up here all the time because that's the local salmon and crab cakes are the local fare up here.
You want to hear something funny, Kurt, really quick?
Go ahead.
When we were at the first time we went to Pat's Famous Cheesesteak, we were with Billy Kyle. Like all day he's been saying, "Are we going to eat now? Are we going to eat now?" So we get here and he says, "Now, before you guys even go over there, I have to tell you how to order." Now, you remember Seinfeld, the soup Nazi? No soup for you.
Right.
Well, Pat's is like that. And if you order the cheesesteak, it's with or without.
Well, I don't know. I said it with, and I got it with no cheese, and I was kind of
Now you just got to say with, and you get cheese, and you have to say it clearly so they understand you, or you go without. Okay, it's one of those two. If you say anything else, they look at you and say, "Get off the line."
This is what I need from you guys. We got to sit down and have a whole show about this. No, I'm serious about coming up. I got to wait till the end of the month and look at mine.
You know how to get food.
Well, no, the proper lingo and the proper things, the proper way to act, the proper, just whatever. Because the East Coast is different from the West Coast. You come out to the West Coast, man, it's all like it's Barbie dolls and Twinkie fingers, and you drink your coffee like this, and multimillionaires. It's totally different atmosphere out here than it is where you guys are.
I'm going to tell you this: you go to the cheesesteak place, you order your stuff here, you go to the next window, you order your drink, you grab your napkins, and you leave. If you don't do it in that order, you got issues.
See, now here's an example for you. So when I was in Italy, a lot of people don't know this as far as etiquette. When you go to a restaurant and you order pizza, you stand up and eat it. If you sit down at a table, it costs you money.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, this place, Pat's, we went to. Pat's is good, and I was told that's the real place you want to try out first. But now we need to go check out a few places around. Like I said, that's the tourist attraction. So that is going to be good. but the lady at the museum, one of the security guards at the museum said, you have to go to the hood to get a real cheesesteak.
I believe that.
So Nacho Roland says,
And
Be-
Kurt, it didn't look like she was hungry.
so Juneau County Droner, Robert says, come dressed like John Travolta. I don't think I'm going to fit in those clothes, man.
So, I'm going to say right now, if you dress like John Travolta, I'm standing across the street.
Get a
Yeah,
slice
Oh,
but it is entirely possible. It is entirely possible that I'm going to be able to come out there.
that would be nice, though. That would be real nice. Nacho says, wear a diaper when you go.
Now, you know what's funny? Here in New York, right? I know here in Brooklyn especially, if you want good food, you're going to have to wait.
Yes.
Why? Because it's Brooklyn. You're just going to have to wait.
Hold on.
That's anywhere. That's anywhere.
Be right back.
But even if there's no one online,
You just got to wait.
and you
Oh, it's just no. You're the only one there. You got to wait.
You got to wait.
Well, you know that's actually a good sign because that means it's not pre-prepared in any way.
that's true. That is true as well. But
That's
I'm
good.
going to
That's
tell you
good.
one thing. If we get to go, Kurt, we always let Billy Kyle know when we're coming, right?
Mhm.
This Sunday, we're supposed to be meeting up with Mike, Philly Drone Life. But I'm going to tell you right now, Billy Kyle can put away a cheesesteak. He inhaled that damn thing. The first time, I thought I was eating too slow. I was choking trying to keep up with him, man. And
Wow.
he put away that cheesesteak. Now keep in mind, the suckers maybe, I'd say it's maybe about a foot long, a little longer than a foot, give or take. Give or take. And I just had no clue. But we get down there. What happened, Herman?
You're looking at it the wrong way. It's 2 6-inch sandwiches.
True. Okay, yes, that's true. Because they cut it in half. They're right. That's true.
So
It's
it's
two
small.
6-inch sandwiches. But they do warn you, Curtis, if
Yes,
you've
sir.
never had a cheesesteak before, be near a bathroom. They warn all tourists. This should be on a tourist guide as well.
I didn't have a problem. I guess that's if you want it with the works on it. You know?
Well, yeah, I would guess so. But if there is no wait, the food sucks. Love my drones, you're 100% right. If you walk in there and they go, here's your food, they microwave that shit. Don't get the Cheese Whiz, the Cheez-Ix. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the option too, Kurt. You have the option of several types of cheese.
Hey, Curtis.
You gotta say with provolone, with white American, or just with. If you go
Or just
with,
with.
they're giving you the cheese sauce.
Now,
No, we don't want cheese sauce.
check this out, Curtis. Well, when Lawrence and I were in Atlantic City, we were looking for something to eat. So we're walking around town one night, but the next night we were in the car and we saw this pizzeria and everybody's pulling up and running into this pizzeria and coming out with pies and stuff like that.
Oh, yo.
So, let's go over there and check that out. We pull up, we park, we go inside, and it's like, you smell pizza cooking in here? I don't smell a damn thing cooking
How
in
do
here.
you go into a pizzeria, Curtis, and not smell pizza?
No food cooking in there. I was like, this is not good. I'm
And
out.
people were walking out with pies and bags, and then you look. You know how you walk in a pizzeria, right? The pizza's
Right.
on display. You see the nice melted cheese. The cheese pizza, the cheese. You know, after it's been sitting there a while, it starts turning to the milky white color and turns into one solid piece. But
Uh-huh.
that's what kind of pizza they were serving. Herman and I looked at each other and just walked the hell out. And we were hungry too, and we walked the hell out.
Oh man.
But I've never been into a pizza place. And when we left, I said, Herman, did you notice something? He says, what? I said, you didn't smell pizza. And they were taking pizzas out of the oven, dude, and serving it. And I couldn't believe it. I've never been into a pizza place and didn't smell pizza. That was scary.
That is scary.
And people were in there eating and drinking beer and oh, wow.
But you don't smell the pizza. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I like a good, nice wood-fired stove pizza.
Look, I don't care what damn fire it is. We didn't smell pizza, damn it.
I'm just saying, if you have your choices, a wood-fired pizza is better than anything else, in my opinion.
Yeah.
See, Al Diaz is getting. Al Diaz must be hungry. He said a New York City Jamaican patty. Have you ever had one, Curtis?
No,
Jamaican
I
beef
haven't.
patty?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's funny that you mentioned that. I remember because we have this one place out here that everybody probably knows of called Golden Crust, and it's all over the place. And I remember when it was only one location in the Bronx.
And now they're all over New York.
Once they started spreading all over New York, it went downhill, that big hill on the roller coaster,
Yeah.
straight down.
Nacho's right. Yellow meat pie. Pretty much, if you had an empanada is a Spanish version of a Jamaican meat patty. Okay, everyone makes a beef patty a certain way. The
Right.
Spanish make empanadas. The Jamaicans make beef patties. Y'all making me hungry. Almost lunch break.
Well, it all depends on where you're from, though, with the empanadas, because in Panama they use corn.
I'll be right back. I got a visual here for you.
You got a who?
A visual.
Yeah, it's not the same way like how the Mexicans and them make it. It's a little different.
Doing a bit of research here real quick.
We got all kinds of food out here.
Here we go. This right here is a Jamaican beef patty. Right here.
Frozen.
And
What's the word?
these suckers, I know they have stores here in New York, Curtis, where people stand online for these damn things. And when I say stand online, I mean in the blazing sun. And when you get there, you better order 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, because when you get offline, you're gonna need to have another 45-minute wait.
Well, that's what I was trying to tell you. See, when you first used to go to Golden Crust, when they had one location, that thing never got frozen. Now all of the locations get a box with them frozen like that. And I remember I was flying with pilot Jose, and I told him I was gonna go get. He said he had to go get some beef patties. I said, "Where you gonna go to Golden Crust?" He was like, "Oh, Golden Crust. Oh no, I got a spot I'm gonna take you to." So he took me to this one spot, which is a local hole in the wall, and we come around the corner, and there's this one guy outside. He's got a bag in his hand, and he's holding one in his hand. He's out there, and he's eating it. It's piping hot, but he's still trying to eat this thing.
3rd-degree burns, Curtis. You will get
Yikes.
trying to eat these things.
And I'm like, they can't be that good. So I go inside, and people order them like 10 at a time to take home and put in their refrigerator so they can warm them up when they want to.
Wow.
There's a place out here in Jamaica, in Queens, New York here, and you walk by, and Curtis, lunch usually starts at 11 o'clock. At 9 a.m. in the morning, people are lined up to get their stuff for lunch.
Wow.
At this place, yeah. So,
Well, the spot over here, what's his name there? Who Pilot Jose's brother's spot? They got the chicken on the grill from right after breakfast is when breakfast is starting to die down. They got the chicken on the grill already.
I'll be right back, guys. I have to mute for a second.
They're flame broiling that chicken.
He's getting hungry. He's gonna go cook that thing.
Oh no, man, no. I had spaghetti tonight.
I'll take that beef patty.
Yeah.
I just got home. Wife's fixing dinner right now. So yeah, I was amazed. I got out of work early today. I was really, really surprised.
Okay.
It just turned out to be a slow day, and I said, "Screw it, I'm out of here."
That's good.
Okay. What do you drive, right? You were saying a truck, something like that.
So yeah, what I do is I deliver welding gases, so oxygen, acetylene, nitrogen, argon, hydrogen, stuff like that, down to the port of Tacoma. So yes, I have a CDL. Yes, I have a hazmat permit, but I'm not what you would consider or at least I don't really consider myself a truck driver
I got you.
because I only do like 30 miles a day. It's 15 miles to the port and 15 miles back.
Mhm.
So
So they make you guys take the OSHA 10 too?
oh yeah, I've got so many safety clearances and background checks to get onto the port and fingerprinted, and I've been checked by everybody in the world, which is essentially it's job security because and my boss said so at one time. He goes, "I can't replace you, damn it." Some of the places
Video ID now.
do what?
Video ID.
They haven't quite got to that. Right now, it's a TWIC card system, and that gets us into most places. But the thing we run into is, for instance, I go to one place called U.S. Oil where they take crude oil and they refine it down to usable gas and usable diesel. To get in there, I have to go through a 3-hour safety course once a year, and it's the same boring. But you know, you multiply that with all the other different places I go to. Some of them are 1-hour courses, some of them are 15-minute courses, some of them are like here, sign here or whatever. So the amount of credentials that I have going down there are pretty hefty. It's not an easy thing to just get onto the ports in Tacoma or Seattle or any port for that matter.
Yeah, because
Everybody has
more cards in your wallet than regular ID and credit
well,
card.
they're all tied into one card, which is called a TWIC card, and it's and it has, when you go there for the first time to go through your safety courses, you hand them your TWIC card and they add your credentials to that card. So it's all one card. And then it's where, and then afterwards, when you show up, you go by the guard, you hand him the card and he scans it and he lets you in. Or in some cases, they know you and they go ahead, Kurt. It's one of those things where you get to know the guards and you make sure you know them because they will get you through faster. But yeah, no, that's kind of what I do for a living. It's pretty much a go as long as I want to go. I mean, I can go until my truck is empty, or if I'm not feeling well, I just tell my boss, "Hey, I'm not feeling well. I'm just going home now." He's like, "Oh, I wish you'd stay," but I'm one of those employees that I don't mind working. Work is not an issue for me. So, and I understand that the more I sell, the more product I move, I'm for sure getting a paycheck. If I go out there and milk it, I'm not going to get a paycheck. So I understand that.
Well, that makes plenty of sense. You get what you're motivated to get.
Yeah, and I'm not on a commission or anything, and I don't have any quota to fill. It's just some days are super busy and some days are not. And today, for some reason, it just was not busy. And I went to like 7 or 8 stops and nobody was needing anything. And I was like, screw it, I'm going home today. And then I got the notice on the way home. My phone beeped and I got the email that says, "Oh, join." So I was like, "Oh, I got to rush home." So I sped up.
Yeah, again, Herman was like, I was like, "Who did you send to?" He gave off a list of people he sends to. The only one that for some reason doesn't get it is either Justin and or Paul. For some reason, it doesn't come from Herman. Justin, who did you get the link from? Me or Herman?
Let's
You.
because I get it both in Gmail and I get it on AOL. So
Okay.
Gmail
Okay.
I got from not you.
Have a great night, Nerdcopter. Thanks for popping in.
Thanks for stopping by, man.
All right. Well, it is 6:57, and I don't know if Val's going on. No one's coming on tonight.
Not that I know of.
From what I understand, Canadian Drone Hub was supposed to be going on tonight.
Okay.
It's the preview.
Probably Val proofing the house. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Val is on a plane right now, from what I understand.
She should be in Syracuse with Mike Roach and in that area where Centroid Mark is.
Yeah.
Well, I knew no Usa is going to be on.
And someone mentioned in the chat earlier that Val went on.
She's in
That she's in Syracuse. So she's already upstate New York from us.
They're always on.
And Herman, you didn't notice earlier, and all that heat, it suddenly got really chilly for a second, and then it went away, and then it got hot again. That was probably the plane flying past us.
So love my drone. So Curtis is a gas passer, pretty much.
You know we love you, Val. I'm just joking. So Curtis is a gas passer? Where the hell did that come from?
What I deliver.
Yeah, he's the guy that you see delivering that truck that nobody wants to stop at the light next to.
Right. That's the one. I'll have to get a photo of it and send it to you guys.
That's him. Now I've seen them deliver to jobs I've been on, and I've seen them different places. It's just that, like, I've noticed since I started working in construction, you had to, we all went to school for our trade. We got the certifications that we were supposed to have within the time confinement of us going to school. And then before we could graduate, we had to go to this rigging course where they teach you how to do different knots and set things up. And then they showed you how to try to kill yourself by climbing down the side of a building into a chair that you can lower yourself up and down the side of a building. I'm not doing that. But we had to do it to graduate from school. Since I've graduated, they've added so many other courses that you say that they tell you, oh, you know, if you take these classes, you become more employable. It got bad when you had to take a class to learn how to use a scaffold.
What's up, Explicit FPV?
Learn how to use a ladder. And then we had to take this now. After 20 years later, they made us start taking this OSHA 10 class, where we had to go 10 hours of all this information to find out the deal that your foreman has with the general contractor and the contractor that you work for has with the general contractor. It's what's actually killing you. To meet those unrealistic deadlines.
Yeah. Oh shit. Oh shit.
They make the guys work harder and push to get it done, and that's where all of the hazards come in.
Well,
So-
yeah, that's usually with any job or job site.
Right, but what they
Yeah.
do is
Most
they make you
accidents do happen.
they make you take these classes so that you're well aware of the fact that that's dangerous. So you did it; it's on you.
Right, exactly. It's it's limiting their liability.
And then your supervisor tells you to go do that.
Right.
And yeah, but if you don't do it, then what? Now you have to bring that guy up on charges of asking you to do something that's not right. You're gonna end up losing your job regardless, and we're waiting for the next one to come up. But hey, that's I guess the only thing that we have that works in our favor being in the union is that they shape for us. They look for work for you.
Well, that is cool.
So if you're dealing with somebody that's like that, you can get moved to somebody else.
Sorry to hear that, Explicit. You're grounded there in the FPV world. Later, Lord My Drones, thanks for popping in. It's time for me to fly. Great to see you all. Thanks for coming in, bro. Every second that you're here is highly appreciated.
Hey Lawrence, what happened to the light, man?
Did you pay the light bill?
I have to put another quarter in the slot.
Okay, you're hiding.
No, I'm trying to see how this actually looks. So if I'm sitting here drinking an adult drink, it doesn't look like I'm sitting in a stadium somewhere.
Pour it in the cup.
What happened?
Just pour it in the cup. Isn't that what everybody else does? But you know what we never did? We got to get a break from the drop from our sponsor. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by.
Those guys.
There we go. And see, Val, we did that with enthusiasm, thinking of you.
Well, Paul couldn't make it tonight, but I thank everybody else for being here.
No, much appreciated. But Kurt, if you plan on coming to the East Coast, please keep Herman and I informed.
I'm coming to the East Coast because you guys are there.
We appreciate it.
You got me on Facebook.
Yep.
Same here.
The situation is I just need to make sure the finances are correctly lined up.
Oh yeah,
I understand that totally.
Always.
I understand that totally. Because had Herman and I not went to Atlantic City, I probably would have brought another racing drone.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna on the Hangouts chat. I'm gonna put my phone number in there.
Paul just said sorry, he just got back home. Sweet, thanks a bunch for the footage. I got to go through and edit.
Okay.
I'd like to see that footage, Explicit. Go ahead, I have your channel supported. So when you put it out, I'll definitely stop by to check it out. for sure. We'd like to thank you guys for checking out Wednesday Nights with Those Guys. And don't forget,
Roger Palooza in the morning.
strange, Herman, why did your phone number show up over your chat?
I just told you I was putting my phone number in
Oh, okay, all right, okay. I didn't hear.
because I don't think Curtis has my number. I know you and Justin have it.
Oh, okay. But check this out, guys. We will, as far as I know, we will be having a Sunday Nights with Those Guys.
Roger is live.
Herman and I, yeah, Rogers Live, you can jump over. But Herman and I will be going to Philadelphia early Sunday morning. Justin, I want to call you afterwards to see if you can come along, man, with us, so we could do.
I'll give you a call after.
I'll give you a call after the live stream. But that's basically it. Early Sunday morning. When I say early, Philly Drone Life is going to be like, damn, they really came. That's how early it's going to be.
So you want to catch him in his slippers?
And his slippers while he's brushing his damn teeth.
So you leaving here at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Well, in order to leave here at 4, I'd have to get on the train at 3. I'd have to carry my little black bag in case.
Your little, oh, okay.
I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Okay. But you don't scare them. We're not trying to scare them, dude. But we've been trying to get to fly with Philly Drone Life for a while. And he's like, but you got to come early, man, to see the dynamic range.
He gets up early.
It's the dynamic range.
Right. So we will definitely be there Sunday morning. I don't know how early, but we're going to be there. In fact, I got distracted from checking to see if I still had his phone number in my phone. So that would be a plus.
What time does
All right, Philly Drone Life, I got him. All right, we're good to go. You're gonna sign out, man, and everybody go to Roger?
Well, yeah. Everybody's gonna run over to our Canadian Drone Hub. I know all of you guys are regulars over there, so you all know the location. I don't have to put a link in there, do I?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Everybody else here is a regular. Paul, Al, everybody's
I can put a link in there.
Thank you guys for the support.
all right. I mean, yeah. Everybody's gonna go over to Canadian Drone Hub.
Yeah, it's the pre-Roger Palooza wind-up show.
Yeah, I got to show him. I finally got my hoodie. My
Oh,
hoodie
cool.
came. So I'm happy.
You gotta show up over there and show everybody.
Yeah, I'll do that real quick and then jump out. I'm not too good after. I'm like a bear. Once you feed me, I'm ready to hibernate.
So I just want to thank everyone in the chat for stopping in and hanging out with us.
See y'all later.
You on the panel for hanging out. And like I said, everyone on the chat, thank you for coming. Thank you for stopping by, hanging out with those guys. And I'll see you next time on Phantom Flight 101 with those guys.